I woke up screaming, but I couldn't feel my legs. That was the moment I realized my life would never be the same. It's been 6 months since the accident, but the pain, both physical and emotional, still feels fresh. I can't sleep most nights because the memories replays itself like a broken record in my head. I lost my legs, my wedding, and in some ways my entire future in one single day. Let me take you back. It was supposed to be the beginning of something beautiful. A wedding, a new life with the man I loved. Instead, it became the day everything changed forever. No, I should not start from here. Let me take you back. I mean, way back when it all started. I met myself at a lively Lagos cafe. People chatter, soft light flicker, and somewhere in the middle of it all, Femi waits at a corner table. I wasn't supposed to be there that day, but again, fate has a funny way of putting people in the right place at the right time. That's how I met Femi, over a cup of terrible coffee. He looked up from his phone, and his pair of white bright eyes was the first thing I saw as I entered, and gave him a polite smile. I wasn't in the mood for small talks. I was meeting a friend and had already decided it would be a quick hello and goodbye. But fate had other plans. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice you are drinking the same horrible coffee as I am, Femi says. I can never forget the first statement he said to me. And you thought that was a good conversation starter? I replied. We both laughed. That one moment stretched into hours. We talked about everything: work, family, dreams. I told him about my love for painting. Femi equally shared his obsession with classic Nigerian movies. It happened so quickly. We became inseparable. And we pushed to the next stage of relationship. This was Femi surprising me with painting set for my birthday. He was my teacher. He taught me everything, including how to cook, even though he was the man. We weren't perfect, but we were happy. He made me feel safe, seen, and loved in ways I never thought possible. 5 months down the line, we were at a beach at sunset. The sound of gentle wave fills the air. Femi stands nervously, holding a small velvet box in his hand, while I walked behind him confused. Femi, what's going on? I said. He turns to face me, his eyes wide with mixture of excitement and fear. I had this whole week planned, but I forgot everything the moment I saw you. So you're just going to leave me hanging? Grace, you've made every day brighter since the moments we met. I can't imagine spending my life without you. Will you marry me? Tears welled up in my eyes. Of course I have to say yes. It was my everything. I didn't even think it through. I just nodded. Yes, I said. Femi gave me a tight hug, and I was again lost in thoughts. This fine-looking boy will be mine forever. Everything felt like it was falling into place until... The bus was shaking, but no one seemed to care except me. I was traveling from Abuja to Lagos to meet Femi. We were supposed to finalize plans for our wedding. Our wedding was only a few weeks away, and we were ready to begin our future together. It wasn't going to be a big ceremony. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and that was enough. Or at least that was what I thought. I'd planned to drive myself, but my car had been giving me issues, and I didn't want to risk it breaking down on the highway. Instead, I booked a seat on a commercial bus. It wasn't my first choice, but I figured it was a safe bet. The journey started without any incidents. I sat by the window, my headphones on, catching up on emails from work. I had just been promoted at the digital marketing firm where I worked, and things were looking up. We were somewhere between Lokoja and Kaba when I noticed the bus was vibrating more than usual. It wasn't subtle. It felt like the vehicle was shaking itself apart. I leaned forward and whispered to the driver, "Oga, this bus doesn't feel right though. Are you sure everything is okay?" Maybe we should check the tires. He laughed and waved me off. Madam, relax. I don't do this work since before you start school. I sat back, uneasy but unwilling to argue. A text notification pops up from Femi. Can't wait to see you, baby. I love you. I smiled softly, replying, almost there. I heard the bang before I felt it. Then everything went blank. We were nearing Kaba when it happened. There was a loud bang and the bus swerved violently and the passenger screamed. One of the tires had just burst. I clung to the seat in front of me, praying the driver could regain control. He tried, but it was too late. We veered off the road and slammed into a tree. The impact threw me forward. My head hit something very hard. Everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I was lying in the grass, barely conscious and surrounded by the wreckage. People were shouting and crying. My legs were twisted in an unnatural angle. The pain was overwhelming. I looked down and saw blood. Too much blood. That's when I knew my life would never be the same. Blood covered my legs. I tried to move, but nothing happened. I struggled to stay awake. My vision fades as the road safety officers rushed towards me. The next thing I remember was waking up in a hospital bed. The smell of antiseptic was overwhelming, and the fluorescent light above me were too bright. I tried to move, but I couldn't feel my legs. I screamed for the nurse, begging her to tell me what was going on. She didn't say much, only that the doctor would explain. My mother was sitting beside me, holding my hands tightly. Mom, what happened? I can't feel my legs. My mom looked away, tears welling up in her eyes. The doctor answered with a solemn face. Grace, we did everything we could, but the injuries to your legs were too severe. We had to amputate your legs to save your life. The doctor's word felt like a death sentence. It hit me like a sledgehammer. I wanted to scream, to cry, to die. How was I supposed to live without my legs? How would I walk? Walk down the aisle, or even dance at my wedding? Days blur into weeks with a mixture of pain and heartbreak. My family used every naira they had for my treatment. Femi visits me every day, trying to stay strong for me, holding my hands and telling me everything would be okay. But I could see it in his eyes. He was scared, overwhelmed. This confident-looking man I had agreed to marry was slowly disappearing before my eyes. I knew he was struggling to process what had happened. One day, he came to the hospital with a look on his face I couldn't read. He sat down next to me and took my hand. Babe, he started, with his voice cracked. Grace, we need to talk, he said. My heart sinks. I know what was coming. Don't say it, I whisper. I love you, but I can't do this. I am not strong enough. I don't know how to take care of you. Not like this. It felt like my heart stopped. My worst fears had come true. I couldn't even cry. I just stared at him, numb, as he walked out of the room. And just like that, he walked out of my life. I lost more than my legs that day. I lost my future. Since then, it's been a struggle. My family used up all the money we'd saved for my wedding or my treatment, and the prosthetic that I haven't even been able to afford yet. I had to resign from my job because I couldn't keep up. Some of my so-called friends stopped picking my calls. It's like losing my leg made me invincible to everybody. I was left with nothing but the will to survive. I realized that if I waited for someone to save me, I would be waiting forever. If I wanted my life back, I had to fight for it. So survive I did. Slowly, painfully, I began to rebuild. I taught myself to work remotely, reaching out to clients. I started freelance projects and rebuilding my career piece by piece. It wasn't easy, but it was something. But I'm still here and I'm still breathing. If you're watching this, please Don't ignore the warning signs. One decision can change your life forever. Speak up, protect yourself, check your car, and don't ever let someone's pride endanger your life. Your life is worth fighting for. Grace pauses with a faint smile on her lips. As for me, I am still here, and I'm still breathing, and I am not giving up.